A lot of people think that with English as a second language, or ESL, that you have to be speaking fluent in other languages, and that is not the case here. Being a sub for ESL is so much fun. What I loved about it was teaching the students who obviously don't speak English, but they are from all over the world. And even though I'm translating with Google Translator, getting to know them and getting to know something about their culture that's different than the United States. And I love it because culture and diversity is so beautiful and so important. Subbing for ESL goes from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. So you can sub in elementary school and you will have those kids. If you sub in elementary school, at least where I am at, the ESL teacher, or you as the sub, will go to a classroom and pick out the student that needs to have the extra time. I'm not sure if they have like a certain number of hours that they have to like learn English with ESL and the ESL teacher, if that makes sense. Like speech class, if there's a student who needs speech, they in their IEP it would say like they have to have 150 hours of speech class within the school year, if that makes sense. So I actually don't know that, but I would be interested in learning that. But yeah, so for elementary school, you would be pulling them and working with them. In middle school and high school, they have their classes. So you would have like at least like from 4 to 6 classes of ESL and different students. So it's important to know too that no, you don't have to be speaking fluent in Spanish or whatever it is. You just need to know how to talk to them with Google Translate. But it's important to know that like there are some teachers. I subbed for a teacher who was on Frontline, it said Spanish education. So I was thinking, okay, like she's just a Spanish teacher. Well, with that, she was also ESL. So she had Spanish classes, and then she would go to other classes. Like I think I had to go to an English class, and I sat with a student who spoke fluent in Spanish, and I had to help them. That was her way of ESL and how that teacher did it. The school that I worked at, there was strictly a ESL teacher who had them during class, and then she would end up like finding the kids in their classroom. If they need something or if the teacher needs something, they can go to her to help. I hope that made sense. Basically what I'm trying to say is either you're going to have a classroom with the language, and then you may be going to other classes as like a co-teacher, but you're not really co-teaching, but you're with one student, kind of like a para, but not a para. And then other times you might just be the ESL teacher. The kids will come to you and you will work on whatever they work on. So really, it's very basic. So like I worked with 9th and 10th graders majority of the time. And I've had the kids, when I was there, I had students from Russia and Ukraine, China, all over the world, Spain, Mexico, and no English. I mean, they didn't even know hi. So a lot of it was that. So it was saying like just having something basic as a flashcard saying hi. And then on the board that she would have different, however they said it in their language, like written out, equals hi or hello. So that's how she would do it. they had worksheets where they would have to do like label certain things. So like I remember one, it was a house. So it was like, imagine the front of your house being like cut open, and then so you see like the living room. They had to write living room in English, chair in English, television in English, telephone in English, like just very basic things. So you don't need to learn their language. It's just us teaching them our language. And then just to talk to them, I always just use Google Translate. So, how's your day going? What's your favorite sport? Like things like that, just to build rapport as well. And also just to teach them what they were doing. I also had a computer, and I would project that to the board, and I would write out the things. So like I actually had a class, I remember, full of kids from Mexico. So that was easy to just put in Spanish, and then I translated it, and then they were like, oh, okay, cool. So I loved subbing for ESL, and I think it's great. You get to learn about the kids' culture and where they're from. I loved asking them questions about what they think is different about here than there and stuff. And they're overall great kids. And I hope that you enjoy it as well. And one more thing I want to say too, for time fillers, if you feel like you have a time filler, a lot of the teachers do regular games with the students. So like I had, and literally I've subbed K through 12 with ESL, or have observed it, and they're always playing Uno, or they're always playing like card games or something. And they have games in there that the students can do. So like if they finish their work, they have 15 minutes left, they play a game. And so something simple, but I don't necessarily think you really need to bring anything in there, because you really don't know what student is where when you pick up the job. So I would just follow the lesson plan as much as you can, and then see if there's games, any fillers that you can do, and have a blast. I have a playlist on Sub Solutions where it's asking, it's all of your questions asked that didn't need to be a 30-minute video. So I just answer your questions, your burning questions right then and there. So I will see you there.